And the music was still going. I forgot to hit it. That's the downside. You can't hit the mute button on the YouTube part until it actually comes on. And I wasn't even paying attention to that. All right, everyone. History of film. It's going to be a little bit different. We've been off for a little bit. Life happens. Certain things happen. I've had to deal with landscaping. These two decided to get engaged and get married and be selfish and have to work on their own plans for their eternal bliss. I know. What can you do about it? But hey, folks, we're back for this session. And we're going to talk about, honestly, the greatest Star Trek on TV right now, the Orville. So, yes, we waited 2 years through COVID, 3 years. Yeah, you're right, 3 years. It has been 3 years. We've gone through COVID. We've gone through them going from Fox over to Hulu, which now means they're owned by Disney because Disney owns the majority share of Hulu. So, and what is the most common meme I see on Twitter among my fellow people? Pretty sure it says Union Command to Hulu. Renew the Orville! Seriously.
I agree.
Seriously, how have we not gotten a freaking renewal? Look, I get it. I get it. I get why we didn't get it originally. This is new for Hulu. This is new for Disney. They want to see what the analytics are on Hulu. Gorilla Random, welcome. Thank you for coming on. Let's see if I can get this to pop up. It's been a while since I've done that. Oh, I'll figure it out later in a minute. But anyway, the whole thing is we are finally into getting this third season, and it is not disappointed. From episode 1 to episode. Now, I'm gonna say this. I gave Strange New Worlds a shot. Couple of okay episodes. Okay pilot. I could go into all kinds of things I had issues about. Somehow there's a second Civil War we never heard about. There's a eugenics war that supposedly happened in the 90s and World War III that happens in 2026, but somehow he just combines them all together. But that's either here nor there. Let's not even get into the fact that Gorner suddenly found her, or let's not get into the fact that we are focused a lot on Spock and T'Prim's sex life, which I really don't know who thought that was something we all wanted to know about.
I wanted to know about it. No, I didn't.
No, you didn't.
I didn't. No, I didn't.
And I saw the trailer for the current Strange New Worlds. I was like, wow, way to rip off Balance of Terror and just not even try to hide it.
It's a good thing I stopped watching it.
I did too. I just happened to catch the trailer because, unfortunately, I was watching a YouTube video and it popped up, and I was like, that's a plasma torpedo. Any fucking Tom, Dick, and Harry who has half a knowledge of Star Trek TOS knows what that is, knows that you're on a space station, knows this is a ripoff of... I should have stopped when they did the ripoff of Mock Time.
Yeah, I'm just happy about the Orville.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's where I was going there, because think about
they know how to do it right. Especially if we want to compare episodes, the episode where Adira finally in Discovery, they finally go to Stamets and says, "I'm a they, I'm not a she," and then Stamets is like, "Okay," and then that's the end of the conflict, right? Which, I mean, sure, I would see Stamets being, that accepting, but I mean, there's like a bunch of other aliens on that ship who might have different cultural feelings about it, which they never explore, but they explored in the Orville.
Okay. Gorilla random thoughts. I'll take Spock's sex life over Orville's on the nose, in your face political stuff. Okay, I'm going to disagree with you on this because I think the roles are reversed. See, let's take the Tale of Two Topas here. Yes, this was about transgenderism. Okay, yes, we know this. We understand this, but understand the key difference. This was somebody who had this done without their consent or knowledge as a child.
Right.
And it is a species that is deeply prejudiced to the idea of females. Now, here's where we get into the big difference between Strange New Worlds and Orville. Nobody said who was right. Let's take Clyden, because I think a lot of people forget Clyden's inner struggle here. Clyden was hatched. Got to remember the term because they lay eggs.
Mm-hmm.
Clyden was hatched, female. Clyden was surgically altered. Clyden was never informed of this until when Bortus went on a ship and he had a medical exam. And that's when they found out the procedure was done. And you hear him talk about how much he regrets knowing and wishing he had never known this. And in his mind, this is a burden. He hates it. He hates what he once was and is relieved that he is what he is now. Okay, there are people who are like that. There are people who are like that. Okay, that could be an allegory for the whole idea of, okay, the argument of what is it in the religious community? Straight conversion or some shit like that, or whatever they call it. Basically, pray the gay away kind of thing, whatever they call it.
Oh yeah,
I forgot what the exact term is.
Conversion therapy.
Conversion therapy. Thank you. Well,
That's
that's basically what this would almost be, right? Conversion therapy.
And
So
yeah, and when they Clyden, the thing that you have to remember is as much as like Clyden was really shitty in this episode, he thought he was doing the right thing.
right.
Right? He didn't believe he was doing anything wrong. He thought he was protecting his son.
yes,
Yeah.
and that's the
Um,
key thing.
yeah. That's where I think the analogy really hits it on the head, where it's like neither of them are really wrong. We're just choosing Bortus's side because the
It's the
kid,
socially acceptable side.
well, that and the kid was being suicidal, and they had no idea what to do, how to help him.
Yes, that was another key thing. And that was an important point to bring up because at okay, I don't know the age acceleration of a Mocklin, but it looks like about this point, Topa is about at that age of a human teenager.
Like a young teenager, yeah.
Yes,
Yes.
exactly. When the hormones and everything are going out of whack. You
Mhm.
know, so let's assume this is similar for Mocklins. That's the thing. That is the thing we always have to remember. These are alien species. We have to take human understanding. So let's just say maybe at that age their hormones go through a flux. Maybe there was something that Topa felt that possibly even Clyden felt at that time, at that age, but Clyden's parents being probably being the very traditional Mocklins, probably tried to dismiss it or do however they do to distract from it. You get where I'm going there, right? Well,
Mhm.
you have two conflicting parents right now, And Topa knows this. Okay, kids said, okay, two of us have kids. We all know our kids can sense when shit is going bad in the house.
Oh
Sure.
yeah. Kids
Yeah,
know it.
kids can sense it. So Topa knows there has been something, there's been a wedge between Clyde and Boris. Even though Clyde and Boris have been trying to work this out, that wedge has always been there. That difference has always been there. That
Correct.
I think
Mhm.
you were wrong is still there. That hasn't changed. They maybe have avoided it, talked around it, but that's what they're doing. And now what they did was they got this far when they tried to accept, but unfortunately, their continued views went this way. And I did hear someone try to say they fucked up continuity because Clyde didn't divorce Bortus by killing him. And I called them out and I said, nope, I can
There, there,
answer that right now
He
because,
did die for about 12 seconds.
but remember, Clyden promised Eddie would not do that on the ship.
Right.
right.
On the life
That's
of his child, yes. On the life of my
Yes.
child, do more violent acts ever again. So yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So that's why he can't do it because Clyden is still a Listen, Clyden, right or wrong, is a point of view. We all know this. Clyden is, and Clyden actually is the one who carries the worst of this because Clyden's the one who's been on both sides of this. And I think there is some elements of understanding to that, but I think there's an element of fear in Clyden that if this goes through, what if it succeeds for Topa? What's that going to do to Clyden? Make Clyden think. I mean, think about it. No parent wants to think I was completely wrong in how I was teaching my child. I mean, it's that's not pride. That's, you don't go into this thinking I know everything. You go into this hoping you do the best. And you do the best with what you have. Now, Clyde may have to deal with the fact that he might have been wrong because Bortus did point it out. You've always been certain. How does it feel
hmm
to be so right? I was like, whoa. You've never heard Bortus talk like that.
No, no, and you know, and the moments when he actually yells at Clyde, like Clyde, and you will be silent, or something like that. It was like
Right.
it takes you
I
aback
know.
because it takes you aback because like I mean, like you remember, I mean, like they normally don't act like that. They're normally like, this is glorious dancing and shit. You know what I mean?
Right. Him
Um,
being subdued,
Or
yes.
are
Even when
the one who's
or they're sharing cigarettes. You know, so
or the one who's actually the more emotional one. Okay, let's put it this way. If we're gonna go into just assigning a little bit here, Bortus is the masculine, Clyden is more the feminine.
yes.
yeah,
Clyden was the one who always expressed emotions more
Hmm.
than was more. Let me say, I don't know if is emotion the right word, or should we say more expressionable, or maybe
I
Both.
both.
guess I guess a little
It's both.
both.
A little bit of
Yeah,
both.
Bortus where is very kind of like Worf. Everything is internal, whereas Clyden wears his emotions on his sleeve, which I think is a great dynamic because it shows, it doesn't feed into any stereotype that Mocklins are all monolithic.
Right, right, and you've seen that um they're not monolithic. In fact, every time you've met a Mocklin, they've been different in some way.
Yes.
And then there's also an entire society of female Mocklins as well. Um, so I mean, yeah. So that that is one thing that I think another thing that Clyden was afraid of was if Topa goes through this change again, uh, Topa's not going to be able to go back to Moklis ever again.
Yeah.
Um, you know,
Yeah, she's an outcast.
yeah.
And I like how the union went about it. They're like, hey, no union officer can perform this procedure. Somebody else does it. It's outside our. Basically, they gave them the window, and you got to give Isaac. Isaac's like, and he even kind of
The fact
admits
that the
doing this
fact that
for
Isaac
himself.
is more redeemable in this episode than Clyden was pretty surprising, actually.
Well,
Yes.
remember though, I mean, Isaac's not stupid. He didn't do it for Tope. He did it for himself.
Right? No, yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
And
of
he said
course.
so.
But
Yeah, he's really
exactly.
nonverbal.
Yes, but it was a win-win. He's not a commissioned union officer.
Hmm.
He's going to do this, and he's going to do this. It's going to help and make everyone happy and gain him some favoritism. Okay. Last time I checked, I've seen a lot of people do that. That's almost human.
Hmm.
Oh yeah. Sometimes he does
Um,
it almost human without being human.
What did you guys? Yeah, we kind of hit that one. I was very happy with that episode overall. I was very pleased with it. I thought that probably handled the transgender thing. Honestly, if
Handled it better than Star Trek did.
oh yeah, if Gene Roddenberry was alive and understood everything that was going on, I think he would have been proud of that episode.
I agree.
Absolutely proud. I think he would have been proud of it. And I think that is that is a kind of episode that he would have done if he could have. It harkened almost back to that episode with. It reminds me a lot of that episode in TNG with Riker and that one androgynous person who
Right.
he falls in love with, who she identifies as female, and society. They're a castrated society and all that. Um, I think this actually took that concept and actually just blew it out of the water.
Hmm.
And I thought some was funny because I saw a comment. It's like, how the hell can Kelly take on Clyden like that? He's a Mocklin. He's much stronger. I'm like, he's a civilian Mocklin.
Kelly knows how to fight.
She is a trained Union officer. Clyden basically it's just a big brute.
He normally doesn't seem to be a fighter type anyway. Even
No,
if
he's not.
No, I mean
No, he was just trying to be
when the
intimidating.
Kalon took over. When the Kalon took over, he did no fighting. He was just there like protecting Topa.
right, hiding in the corner, so to speak. I mean, he's done that many times. Even with Lokar, when he so-called murdered Lokar, he's not using his fist; he's using a phaser, so-called, against him. So,
Right.
yeah,
Yeah, well, I think what happened is Clyden, of course, being Mocklin, thinks, well, I'm physically stronger. He does not like Commander Grayson. He has not liked her for, I think, almost the entire show.
And
So
and her.
he tried to intimidate her.
Mhm.
And, okay, sorry, I don't care how strong you are. My mother, I'm stronger than my mother. My mother's put me in an arm lock before. You put someone in that position, good luck because your arm's about to get broken. You fuck around, that you may move, but your arm's about to get broken.
Yeah. And I love what she says too. She says something like, "I'm going to pretend that didn't happen. So you better get out of my office. And if you ever try to assault me again, I will break your arm off and mount it on my wall."
How you
yes,
doing, Milton? Good to see you, buddy.
she did. She called him out. Like,
Oh yeah,
no.
you ever assault a union officer, and I will rip your arm off. I'm just like,
I was
like a
damn, Kelly,
boss.
you can tell that she's been wanting to say something like that to him for a while.
Mhm.
Well,
Yes.
think about
And this gave her the excuse.
It
well,
was the
think about
perfect
this.
opportunity.
Well, think about this. I mean, she had to deal with the fact the one guy who once a month doesn't wear clothes in honor, and she's trying to compromise here. And he's like, "What do you suggest? Put some pants on. We'll call it a day." Okay,
Yeah.
Commander. Boom, done. There you go.
She-
Put some pants on. We're done. Nobody cares
Somebody
about
said
the
in another live stream in the comment, it was like Kelly is basically HR.
yeah,
That
basically.
was a good line.
Yeah.
But it was a very good point. And but the way when she sat down and tried to talk with Clyde and Bordas, remember, understand, she's taken her commander's rank off.
Hmm.
She's not there as the commander.
Right.
She's
And-
just a friend trying to clear the air.
Right.
But also, one of the other important things is Topa is sending red flags up. And unfortunately, this is where the fault lies on Clyde. Clyde wants to ignore them.
Yeah, I agree.
Clyde is of the mindset, unfortunately, and I'm sure most of us have known people, ignore it and it'll go away.
Or if you
Right.
don't talk
Or
about it,
ignore it and it's not really happening.
mm-hmm.
Right.
Don't talk about it, doesn't exist.
Exactly. But I mean, the moment I heard, once I heard Topa talk to Isaac, I'm like, oh shit.
Exactly.
I mean, literally, everything, every red flag I know as a parent, required responder, or
that was something where it's like, okay, you need to do something about this now.
yeah.
That's
and I
he
was
needs to find
wondering-
somebody to tell that to quick.
You need to you got to get Topa to talk to somebody or whatever.
Get
the case is
Claire,
like,
get Ed, get somebody.
yeah. Like as a parent who's had to deal with that, it's a scary thing, especially in my case, like there's a distance factor. So
Fair enough.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I was wondering how Isaac was going to approach this.
Right.
Because him being the robot, but he approached it the 101 way. I'm gonna go let the commander know what I was told and let her deal with it.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
And which is the right thing to do.
Exactly. Hey, bud, how you doing? Nice to see you here and outside of Twitter.
I love how in when he first walks into Claire's quarters, Isaac tells Claire, I understand the significance of people going into the corridors after hours. If you want, I can make a ship-wide
And Kelly's
announcement
like, no.
saying that there is no, this visit is not sexual in nature or something like that. And Kelly's like, nope, just
You're like, Isaac, stop right there. No.
Have you guys noticed the humor this season has really? I mean, the first season, the first few episodes, it was really out there.
Mhm.
Then it started to organically go in place. Season 2 started to place it more. This season, I think the humor has really hit where it needs to be perfect.
I agree.
Yes,
agree.
it's more nuggets than full ones.
Yeah.
Right, and it basically comes from their personality. It doesn't feel forced like it did in the first season.
Right. And it's not always stupid or silly, so to speak.
So far, my favorite funny part is in I think it's in the beginning of Gently Falling Rain when they're in the Wild West.
Oh yes, I know.
And you see Isaac walk in.
Oh, yes.
He's got the hat and he's got the mustache, and I can't remember exactly what he says, but he's basically saying this town ain't big enough for the two of us. But he's saying it in like the most like
version.
computerized way.
Yes.
That was funny, but did that not bring you back to the Mr. Potato Head thing?
It brought me back. It brought me back to two
special
things.
is.
that one in a Thousand Ways to Die in the West, because he looks like Neil Patrick Harris's mustache
Yes.
character.
You expect him to sing that mustache song.
And I expected like them to start dancing and doing the mustache song, and
Yes.
What do you guys think of Charlie so far?
She's okay. I got to get to know her a
they
little bit more.
they need to do something to make her likable.
Yeah,
Um,
she's starting to get a little on my nerves.
I mean, so far, like the two times that she's been kind of featured, um, like she hasn't really contributed much. The
Right.
the first time it was a bunch. The first time, like like Ed had a fight with her in order to get her to help, and then the second time she, during the mock the Kalon thing, she didn't really do anything. She was just there.
But she was there with the girl
Remember,
once, too.
okay. Remember,
She
Jack.
did pilot the ship, sure.
Okay, remember, Jack. Remember, Jack. She's an 01. They don't do much.
Right. So
Yeah.
so
Yes.
so my hope, in fact, if I was to Aya Thundera, give me sight beyond sight, um I would hope that there's a future episode where Isaac and Charlie are isolated somewhere, either on a shuttle or on a planet or so, and they have to like work together to get out. And then at the end, there's more mutual respect for each other in the end, and maybe Charlie gets over her anger.
I think it's
Otherwise,
interesting.
she's gonna feel like a Pulowski.
Yes.
The thing
Or
is, I'm
Clyde.
probably one of the few people who actually liked Pulowski.
Ooh.
Hey, I'm sorry. I liked her better than Gates McFadden.
Okay.
Well, once
Oh,
she
did you guys
once she
did you guys see my tweet that I responded back to Marina Spritz on?
No, I didn't.
Yeah,
I blocked her, actually.
Somebody says something about Star Trek, and she goes, "Have you ever seen Star Trek?" And I responded back, and I think I retweeted it and quoted what I said. I said, "Seen it, but did you embrace it?" I said, "We
Oh.
did. That's why we're watching the Orville, not New Trek."
Mm-hmm.
But that's the thing. You look at Strange New Worlds, you look at this, you look at the first 5 episodes we've had of this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's take the episode Gently Fallen Rain.
Yes.
Okay,
one
the
of
whole coup insurrection thing. Okay, January 6th, that's obvious.
Okay, but like
But
that,
the way they went
they filmed that way before January 6th.
And it was way before then, too.
Exactly. That's what's funny, but it's interesting because okay, January 6th happened and we had all this stuff. But they did that beforehand, but
Yeah.
everybody thinks they did it because of that. That's the irony of it. But it's so interesting how it parallels because
I mean,
if
it's
we
not a
were
big
a
parallel.
society,
I
if
mean,
we were a society, say we were a society like Krill, that might have possibly could have happened. But
well,
the
I mean,
whole Ed having a kid,
yeah,
whoa, I didn't see that coming.
yeah, that was crazy.
I kind of suspected it, but I didn't suspect it, if that makes sense.
No,
Yeah,
please explain.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, please explain. I need a woman's perspective on that one.
Okay, fair enough. So Talea knew the way his sleeping positions. That's something you know when you're with somebody in a very intimate way. She was also when Gordon's commentary. Oh, at least I didn't bang a krill. So he makes that kind of.
Yeah, that when he said that in the second season, that's when I was like, oh, they actually did do it.
Well,
so they did do something, obviously. And then he said, oh, we canoodled. She made him a sandwich. I mean, she knew his habits and stuff like that. So there were certain things that if you're involved with somebody, you know certain things about them. You notice certain little things. That's all I can say.
No. I get what you're saying. My wife and I, we've been together 15 years now. Actually, we've been married 15. We've been together 16 since once September rolls around.
Hmm.
Uh, we pretty much know each other's habits pretty well. We know each other's quirks. We know each other's tones. We know each other's inflections. I mean, it's so easy. It's almost it's secondhand nature, for lack of a better term. So
Hmm.
it shows, but to get to that point, to get to that level of intimacy, you have to have feelings for that person. So it
Sure.
shows she had feelings for him. And I mean, she showed that when she tried to save him. And she's she's caught at a crossroad. I don't doubt she believes completely in what she's doing. However, it conflicts with the fact that she has a daughter and she won't admit it, but she is potentially in love with Ed.
Right.
And I think she actually is in love with him. And I think Ed is in love with her.
Well, per, perhaps there's still feelings, but I don't think. I feel like after this episode, Ed's love for her probably is kind of waned.
Right.
Yeah.
However, now that he knows that he has a kid, um, I think now he's just focused on the kid.
Right.
Hmm.
Like he's not even thinking about being with anybody. He's just thinking about his kid now.
And
Right.
you know what? You know what, though? I thought that was great writing, that subtle thing. What are you doing? You've had that pet. I'm writing letters to, what's his daughter's name? Pilar?
Anaya.
Anaya.
Anaya. And she's like, how did you get through? I haven't. I just figured I'd write them and maybe one day get. And I'm like, and Jack can probably attest to this, thinking that's what a fucking father would do, thinking I may
Yeah.
never get to see her, she may never get to read these, but
Mhm.
damn it, I'm going to write them in a way on the off chance.
Right.
Because he said it. I may never see her again. So he's like, if that's going to happen, I want her to at least have some idea of who her father was. That is a father.
Yeah.
And he only knew for 5 minutes. See, here's the thing. It doesn't matter if you've had 9 months to prepare or to find out at the last minute. The moment you become a father is when you imprint. Once you see that child, if you don't imprint on them, I'm sorry, I don't know what to tell you. Because I know, because if you're not a father who won't walk through fire and bullets for your child, you know what? I want nothing to do with you. And I really thought that's where, and yeah, I know I got a little deep there, but
No, I sorry. My, let me not say anything.
but that's where I felt, just a little bit of Ed. It's like I may never see her again. I may never know if she gets these letters, but at least I'm going to make the effort.
Hmm.
And that's something, fathers sometimes have to do when they can't be around their children, when they have certain other parent who, yeah, I'm gonna leave that alone because I know that's a tough subject
Yeah, that's fine.
for all of us.
Yeah.
But
Mortality
it's
paradox. What did you
but
guys think about that one?
That was a good
what's
one.
that? Yeah.
What did you
Oh,
guys
the
think about
Twilight Zone episode. I really felt so like that was Twilight Zone like.
It
Hmm.
was.
And
Yeah.
very beautifully done when they had the going down the stairs and everything was pitch black. I'm like, oh my god! If this was in black and white, I think in certain old tones were going, this would be
Right.
Twilight Zone right there, or possibly Outer Limits, depending. But I felt more Twilight Zone than Outer Limits.
I like the
Yeah.
behind the scenes stuff that uh, Tom and John says are posting.
That was
Yeah,
cool.
I've been following those too. I
Yeah,
love that they're doing that.
and they actually have like behind the scenes footage of that stair scene.
Yes, and there's a behind the scenes with the raft too when they're on the
Yeah,
So
on the
think
raft.
about so think about this. The people there are basically torturing them because they
Hmm.
want to know what fear and the possibility of death feels like because they can't achieve it.
Hmm.
And this is the same race that worshiped Kelly as a god.
yep
They've they've
50,000 years
advanced
ago.
so they've advanced so much now that they're basically becoming cute.
Yeah, exactly. That's what they became. They basically became cute. They're looking at them now. It's like they used to worship Kelly as God. Now it's like, yeah, he ain't nothing.
Right.
You're just a speck of history by ignorant. And they're so beyond. They're looking at them like you weren't in any real harm. So we didn't really do anything to you
Right. Not
because
really understanding the mental.
yep,
Right.
I was gonna say that. Oh, maybe they weren't going to be physically harmed, but this up here, when this is fucked up, it's a lot harder to repair.
It is.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and their callousness with that, I was kind of like, wow. I was like, you went from that to that. I'm not sure that that's where I'd want to go. I understand Ed's concept, but I thought it was a little flawed when he said, "I'd like to live forever so I could see what comes next." And I'm like, yeah, but you could do that from up in the sky and see what comes next then. But if you don't pass on, how do you know? How do you not know what comes next?
Hmm.
There's so much weight behind so many of these episodes. It's really surprising
Yeah, I
that
agree.
these
Oh yeah.
that they did these. I mean, I think they did some reshoots, but that these were done several years ago, and we've had to wait this long. I'm like, God damn, this was really worth the wait.
I agree. It was. Shadow Realms, where they do I like to call him the spy fly guy,
Mm.
Yes, James Reed,
the spider fly guy. Um,
the ex-husband of Claire's.
yeah, Claire's ex-husband. Um, he seems he's so like into this mission that he's trying to do that like he gets sprayed in the face and then
Yeah,
grows extra eyes and becomes a weird thing and then goes
But I'll
away.
tell you, he still loves Claire. You couldn't let her go. Poor guy. He still had his wedding band, kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
He obviously still cared about her a lot. But yeah, that was that was like a Halloween episode.
That thing was freaky.
It was well. That was what I said. You took my words out of my mouth.
well, think about it. Claire would be kind of hard to get over. Yeah, I don't even think Isaac's over her yet.
Well,
Nah,
I think they're trying to. I think they're trying to reconcile because they were going to go out for dinner at the end of
Well,
it.
yeah.
that's what I liked about the fact, when they had to have, we had, Charlie really lay into Isaac, and then we have Scott Grimes's character,
Gordon.
Gordon. Thank you. Yes, sorry, I don't know why I forget Gordon, but anyway. He says he agrees, and I'm like, okay, I can see why he would.
Right. I mean, he
And
did cut his leg off
yeah,
as a practical joke.
so I mean, the whole thing is, yeah, it was questionable if they should do that, but at this point, it's interesting. We've gotten 5 episodes in. The Kalons haven't returned. So I think the Kalons are recalculating and they're
I
taking
think they're
their
saving
time.
them for the end.
What's that?
I
I
think
think
they're
we're
saving
supposed to
them
see
for
him
the
this
end.
upcoming episode.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, I think that they didn't, in their calculations, anticipate the Krill and the Union getting together and being able to put up a defense against them like they did. So they're not going to go do. They seem to not have the idea of seek and destroy, pick off. They want to go for an all or nothing. Which, if they do ones zeros, I guess that would make sense.
Yeah, but I do think we'll see them at the end.
Yeah, I think they'll be back.
Yeah,
I
Yeah, I
just
think they're
noticed
supposed
they
to be this
haven't
next
been there.
episode too.
yeah, and I think
Yep.
I mean like, and I definitely think that they're building up to something big,
Oh yeah.
especially after gently falling rain. I think they're setting something up.
Well, it's
Yeah.
going
It's
to
gonna
be
be pretty big.
interesting. Well,
Maybe like identity.
well, we did get this whole thing where we saw one part in the trailer where it said the crew were letting them go through their space. So we haven't seen that yet. So I guess we'll see what gets brokered. Who knows? But I'm busy right now. What's up? Okay. I can't stay too much longer. It is my son's 15th birthday.
Ah, yes.
We understand.
Nah, it's pretty much over. He had a good day. We had a good day the other day. That's why we were out of town. We had family come over for a little bit, they could. It's a long drive. Yeah, we do the best we can, but at least we spend time together. My son, we went to Target. I'll shoot you guys a picture of it because I just took it. He got the Lego Mjolnir
Hmm.
and he finished putting it together.
That's cool.
Yeah,
That's
it's
very
pretty
cool.
awesome. Thank you, Jeff B. I appreciate that. All right. Overall, I'm gonna go ahead and get off here. I'm gonna cut us off a little bit early because I want to go spend a little bit more time with my son before he crashes out over the sugar rush. But what do you guys give these 5 episodes so far? This we waited 3 years. I'm gonna say I'm giving it an 8.8.
12 out of 10.
12 out of 10. All right, Alicia, what about you?
100 out of 100. A million. No.
Any
don't
way
know.
you look at it, if there's not a
I love it
full-
so much, honestly. I really do. There's nothing I hate.
yeah, I know exactly. And if we don't get a fourth season,
We will riot.
I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna go with that. We're gonna riot. Disney. I know my channel is small, tiny, minuscule. You'll probably never see it. But for the love of God,
Renew the Orville.
renew the Orville. You've got something that is going to that is
Marvel Universe. We
crushing,
want them for.
crushing Paramount's new track. We need this. Help us, Disney. Renew the Orville. You're our only hope. Oh God! You know what?
If you can do like, a thousand crap seasons of Mandalorian and not Mandalorian's good, but all the other ones are pretty much crap. If you could do like WandaVision, if you could do 8 episodes of WandaVision, Okay, you can do another
Boba
10
Fett,
episodes of the
yes.
Orville.
Okay,
You did
let
you
me
did
let me let
you
me
did
let
Book
me
of
just
Boba
say
Fett,
this to
and half of
Disney.
it was about the
Let me
Mandalorian.
ask you this, Disney. If you
Or
haven't
more.
noticed, go look at geek sites. You're gonna see a very familiar meme in some form or fashion. It's gonna say Union Command message to Hulu. Renew the Orville. It's out there. We're retweeting it. We know you're seeing it. You 5 episodes in. It's time. Oh God. I swear to God, 5 episodes
Expand your
in.
universe to Orville, please.
If we're 5 episodes in, we've got 5 more to go. Oh, this can't be the end. This just can't be the end.
I hope not.
Yep,
Yeah.
and one novella.
All right, everyone. You have a good one. We're going to eventually get back to history of film and getting back on point. Uh, at some point, we'll figure it out. Other than that, we're just gonna have fun, do what we do. But damn it, this has been a hell of a season. It was worth the 3 year wait, in my opinion. Some things are worth the wait. Thank you, Seth. Take care, everyone.